And we're live, we hope.
We hope.
What have you got? A frozen picture?
Indeed. What, like usual.
Like usual. Okay. Well. Okay. Well, we just have to hope that, we're a little early here.
Yes. And no one is here yet, according to
The little views thing.
Yes.
But we, as far as we know, we're up.
Correct.
Okay. One never knows with Facebook.
No, but we seem to have a good beginning.
Oh yes. What?
That needs to be appreciated.
What will the Facebook gods do today?
Yes.
I've been listening to Twilight Zones half the morning, just to get in the mood, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I looked on Amazon
You did.
for carbon fiber sheeting to make, to use instead of plywood for the resonance box.
Yeah.
I don't think we can afford it. The
Seriously.
cheapest I've found is like $75 a sheet, which means you'd have to shell out $150 just for the two pieces.
Oh, goodness.
But boy, howdy, would you have a good sounding box when you did it. So we'll have to sell a few tuners.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. China is in good voice, at least to start with.
Well, good.
So is anybody... oh, we have one. Hello, whoever you are.
Hello.
Welcome to our live stream. I'm glad you came. I really am. Hope you... if you have half as good a time listening to this as we're about to have playing it for you, you'll remember it for a long time. I just can't believe that it's working.
I know. We're waiting.
We're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yes. Nothing's gone wrong yet.
Right.
Why? So how are we doing on time? Oh, we still have 5 minutes before the hour.
Yes.
To your computer.
Mm-hmm. Well, then you can tell me, and I won't have to make my clock talk on the recording. I don't like doing that.
Okay.
Um, you kind of warm up.
Yes. Well, things are different a little bit.
Yes, indeed. And we'll talk about that here in just a couple of minutes. Do you think that you might want to top this glass up?
Well, sure.
I think it would probably.
I don't want you to run dry.
No need. Okay.
I don't know, but I think that was me, folks.
Hi. You're on Candid Webcam. Did it fit? Wonderful.
Little Dix is trying to come in again.
Let little Dix in.
Slip this back over here. She's just going to walk back out. Is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, you
she's-
could leave that door open.
Well, I didn't know how you felt about the sound.
Well, if somebody shows up or something, we can always close it. I don't know. It's up to her. She seems to want in here. That's unusual. Okay. Well, leave it closed.
She's gone on.
Good. Well, are we? What time is it?
Now it is 12:58 according to your computer.
All right.
So,
Just a couple minutes to go here,
yes.
and we will begin and see
Oh, you know, I forgot my microphone.
what happens. Yeah,
That's a hell of a lot.
you definitely want that.
Now I have a microphone.
Are
There's probably a difference.
Are you turned on?
Yes, I am now.
Me too.
It's always best
It's
to
always
be.
good to be turned on. Just waiting a few more seconds here to see if
Yes, it's now 12.
anyone else
12:59.
joins.
We have one visitor.
Okay, hang in there. We got on a little early this time, and figuring we would have to do it over, and
Right, 8 times.
we didn't. 8 times in a row, it's failed one way or another.
Well,
1 o'clock.
just about. Sitting on 12:59 for a very long time here.
Yes.
Whenever you watch a thing like that.
Watch
Now
boiled.
it is.
Okay.
It is now straight up.
All
According
right.
to your computer.
Well, welcome to the 9th in our series of Autoharp live streams. And we're just kind of trying to show the capabilities of the Autoharp and entertain a little bit while we're at it. Our theme for today is Animal Friends, and these are songs either about animals or that have an animal's name in the title of the song. So somewhere in the song, an animal's name is mentioned. We have a request, which we will get to a little bit later as soon as the person who requested it joins.
Benji has just joined.
Hey, Benji, thanks for coming by, man. You
Good to see you.
I think you're going to like this. We got a couple of your favorites near the end. Our first song, since we're not going to do the request quite yet, is a song called "Make Me the Man My Dog Thinks I Am," which is a pretty tall order when you look at my dog. Oh, make me the man my dog thinks I am. She acts like I'm a king. And if I was the man my dog thinks I am. I could do anything. She gives me so much unconditional love, 24/7 each day. Oh, make me the man my dog thinks I am, or at least help me meet her halfway. Well, I've seen some folks who think it's a joke to put other people down, but my dog, she don't care about putting on airs. She just loves to act like a clown. We'll go for a walk, sometimes I will talk. It seems like she understands. I don't know what she sees when she looks up at me, but she must think my name's Superman. Oh, make me the man my dog thinks I am, or at least make me willing to try. 'Cause if I was the man my dog thinks I am, I'd be a heck of a guy. She gives me so much unconditional love, 24. She gives me so much unconditional love. All I do is scratch her head. Oh, make me the man my dog thinks I am, before it's time I rolled over and played dead. Oh, make me the man my dog thinks I am, or at least make me willing to try. 'Cause if I was the man my dog thinks I am, I'd be a heck of a guy. She gives me so much unconditional love. All I do is scratch her head. Oh, make me the man my dog thinks I am, before it's time I rolled over and played dead. I just wish she wouldn't jump on my bed. Oh well, it's just a dog thing, I guess. I don't know who did that. I couldn't find out.
I love that song. I have to ask you a question because I hit a button on the bottom of this microphone. It's an up arrow.
Oh, don't worry about that.
It won't affect. Okay.
No.
And Nan is here. She says, I can see you and hear you just
Wonderful.
fine today.
Hey.
And Benji says he and Amber are on together. So Amber's there too.
Cool.
So very nice.
Very good. Well, it's nice to at least get off to a good start without our usual technical difficulties. Hi, Lulu. I changed clothes. I changed out of my, running around the house clothes, and she still thinks we might be going to go somewhere. So she says, all right, put that stuff down and quit playing with that, and let's do something important.
That's right. Let's go. That's a bad word to say right now, isn't it?
Yes. And, of course, Sadie's with us, but she's crashed.
Yes.
Out on the bed.
Lazy dog.
Lazy Sadie. Okay. This next song was done way back a long time ago in the 1960s by a folk group called the New Christy Minstrels. I guess there were Christy Minstrels, and then they were the New Christy Minstrels. And then about 20 years later, another group came along and called themselves the New Christy Minstrels. Anyway, this song is called Billy's Mule. Billy's mule can tote a wagon, he can pull a plow, he can figure arithmetic and milk a muley cow. Don't need no education, ain't never been to school, but anything worth doing can be done by Billy's mule. I was on a date the other night with good old Sally Brown. I took her to the dog fight on the other side of town. I noticed when I kissed her, she was acting kinda cool. She said I get more pleasure out of kissing Billy's mule. There's a talking mule named Francis in the magazines I've read. I mentioned him to Billy's mule, and this is what he said. Well, he's mighty highfalutin in them fancy picture shows, but he's me younger brother, and I taught him all he knows. Billy's mule can tote a wagon, he can pull a plow, he can figure arithmetic and milk a muley cow. Don't need no education, ain't never been to school, but anything worth doing can be done by Billy's mule. A talent scout from Hollywood came into town one day. He said, I'll make you famous if you learn to sing and play. But Billy's mule just laughed and said, I don't want to be a star. But who do you think taught Elvis how to play the old guitar? Well, I get so mad when I draw my pay and all my money is spent. I called up the White House and I told the president, if you don't cut out this income tax, you ain't no friend of mine. He said, I'll check with Billy's mule, he's on the other line. Billy's mule can tote a wagon, he can pull a plow, he can figure arithmetic and milk a muley cow. Don't need no education, ain't never been to school, but anything worth doing can be done by Billy's mule. Yeah, anything worth doing can be done by Billy's mule.
Linda Saviard has joined us.
Hey, Linda. Boy, we had a lot of fun riding down to Cincinnati with your husband last night,
Yes,
man.
we did.
We had a ball. We talked about all kind of stuff. It was really nice. I wish you could have been there. But thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it, and I hope you will enjoy the show. As I said earlier, it's all about animals. Cats and dogs and horses and rabbits and I don't know what all. Mules and
mules.
yes. Okay, now here's a lot of dogs because I like dogs. And I'm playing the music, so there. Anyway, we're also open to requests. They don't have to be on topic. If somebody wants to hear something, just throw us a comment and, tell your friends about us for the next time. And the more, get people to follow the page. And that way, I don't put much up on the page because I don't want to, monopolize people's attention. But if you follow the page, then you'll get whatever I do put up. And I am going to start putting a little more stuff up there about Autoharps and sharing Facebook videos and things where other people play the Autoharp so you can get an idea of how other people do this. Okay, let's see if we can get through this one. He's a dynamite, uptight, out of sight, backyard Romeo. He looks like skin on a bone pile. A cat wouldn't give him a glance. Heck, he's God, but when he stretches those long legs out, a fox ain't got a chance. Tennessee hound dog, Tennessee hound dog. Sad-faced, moony-eyed creature, his ears hang down to his knees. The she-hounds call him a has-been, an old-age home for fleas. Tennessee hound dog, Tennessee hound dog. he gets a certain kind of look on his face, the she-hounds run for the hiding place. 'Cause when he takes a notion, all the girl dogs know he's a dynamite, uptight, out of sight, backyard Romeo. He looks like ugly warmed over, some dog lovers have said, but he's got more sense in the end of his nose than they've got in their heads. Tennessee Hound Dog, Tennessee Hound Dog. When he gets a certain kind of look on his face, the she-hounds run for a hiding place. 'Cause when he takes a notion, all the girl dogs know he's a dynamite, uptight, out of sight, backyard Romeo. He looks like ugly warmed over, some dog lovers have said, but he's got more sense in the end of his nose than they've got in their heads. Tennessee Hound Dog, Tennessee Hound Dog.
Linda says that Jimmy and I are enjoying listening. So Jimmy's.
Oh, hey Jimmy. Thanks for listening, and you are hearing the results of your labors, because this Autoharp is one that I'm playing today because there's more room up here on the high strings, and I'm playing it with finger picks. I'm trying an experiment, but it is, of all of my harps, the hardest to tune, and as you can hear, it's right at perfect. So many, many thanks. I haven't had a chance to thank you personally, and I just had to do that. You're going to revolutionize this industry. You really are. What is next? Oh, Strawberry Roan, isn't it? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Here's one about a cantankerous old horse and an old boy who thought maybe he could ride him. I was hanging around town, just spending my time, out of a job, not earning a dime. A fella steps up and he said, I suppose you're a bronc fighter from the looks of your clothes. You figures me right, I'm a good one, I claim. Do you happen to have any bad ones to tame? Said he's got one, a bad one to buck. For throwing good riders, he's had lots of luck. Well, I gets all head up and I asks what he pays to ride this old nag for a couple of days. He offered me 10 and I said, I'm your man. The bronc never lived that I couldn't fan. He said, get your saddle, I'll give you a chance. In his buckboard we hops and he drives to the ranch. I stayed until morning and right after Chuck, I steps out to see if this outlaw can buck. Down in the horse corral, standing alone, is an old caballo with strawberry roan. His legs are all spathered, he's got pigeon toes, little pig eyes and a big Roman nose, little thin ears that touch at the tip. A big 44 brand was on his left hip. Ewe-neck and all with a long lower jaw. I could see with one eye he's a regular outlaw. I gets the blind on him and it sure is a fright Next comes my saddle and I screws it down tight. Then I steps on him and I raises the blind. Get out the way, boys, he's gonna unwind. He sure is a frog walker, he heaves a big sigh. He only lacks wings for to be on the fly. He turns his old belly right up to the sun. He sure is a sun-fishing son of a gun. He's about the worst bucker I've seen on the range. He'll turn on a nickel and give you some change. He hits on all fours and goes up on high. Leaves me a spinning up there in the sky. I turns over twice and I comes back to earth. A lights and a cussin' the day of his birth. I know there are ponies that I cannot ride. There's some of them left, they haven't all died. I'll bet all my money the man ain't alive. That'll stay with old Strawberry when he makes his high dive.
That's always been one of my favorites.
Yeah, Lin likes that one. That's a Marty Robbins tune from his album Gunfighter Ballads. I think he did that in 59 or 60, 61. In 61, I think he had a number one hit with one of the songs on there called Big Iron.
Deborah Lynn Brace McGinnis says hi.
Hi, how are you? Boy, I haven't seen you for a while. I hope you're doing well. And thanks for joining us today.
Yes.
It's great to see you. Really is. Well, I'm lost. What are we supposed to do next?
Oh, sorry. Let's see. Don't pet the dog.
Oh, don't pet the dog. Okay.
I believe it's don't pet the dog. Let me see.
Don't pet the dog. This was originally done. Okay.
Benji said, always loved that one.
Yeah, I like it too. This song was originally done by a comedy duo called Pinkard and Bowden, and then later on was done by the Good Brothers. So here we go. It's called Don't Pet the Dog. Well, I'd much rather have a frog in my throat than a porcupine stuck to my face. Yeah. And I'd much rather have a bug in my ear than a dog hanging onto my leg. I don't know about that. A bug in your ear is really can drive you nuts. But I guess so can a dog. Anyway, my girl asked me home to meet Mama and Daddy. She says, I think you're real nice, but there's trouble ahead. You're gonna wish you were dead if you don't take this friendly advice. Don't pet the dog. Don't pet him whatever you do, 'cause he ain't been fixed and he knows some tricks that'll sure make a fool out of you. Don't pet the dog. He gets it confused with romance. Just leave him alone, or the next thing you know, he'll be asking your ankle to dance. You say it's okay, you try to push him away. Hey, what's his name? Can he sit up and beg? You try to look cool, but you look like a fool with a dog hanging on to your leg, Don't pet dog. He'll boo-boo all over your shoes, 'cause he ain't been fixed, and he knows some tricks that'll sure make a fool out of you. Don't pet the dog. He gets it confused with romance. Just leave him alone, or the next thing you know, he'll be asking your ankle to dance. Don't pet the dog. Yeah, just don't. What's next?
The preacher.
Oh, yeah, this is...
I've got a comment here. Oh, Benji has big laughing, smiling, ha-ha face with tears. Yes.
This is one of my favorites, one of my personal favorites. It has been done by a lot of different people for a lot of different years. I think the first version of it I ever heard was done in 1938. And it's been done as a blues tune and a country tune and everything, but I was a kid in the folk music era, so I'm going to do the version done by the New Christy Minstrels. This is called The Preacher and the Bear. Well, the preacher, he went out walking. It was on one sunny morn. Of course, it was against his religion, but he took his gun along. He shot himself some mighty fine quail and one little measly hare. And on his way, returning home, he met a great big, a grizzly bear. Well, the bear sat down in the middle of the road as mean as he could be. The preacher, he commenced a shaking and climbed up a simmon tree. Well, the bear stood up and he rolled his eyes and he shook his ugly head. The preacher looked up to the sky, and these are the words that he said. Yes, these are the words that he said. He said, Lord, you delivered Daniel from the lion's den, delivered Jonah from the belly of the whale, and then the Hebrew children from the fiery furnace, so the good book do declare. Oh, Lord, Lord, if you can't help me, for goodness sake, don't you help that bear. Lord, Lord, if you can't help me, for goodness sake, don't you help that bear. Well, a bear commenced to climb the tree, and that made the preacher sore. The preacher, he climbed still higher, till he could not climb no more. Just about then a big limb gave way, and they both come a-tumbling down. And when that preacher commenced to pray, well, you could hear it for miles all around. Or you could hear it for miles all around. He prayed, Lord, you delivered Daniel from the lion's den, delivered Jonah from the belly of the whale, and then the Hebrew children from the fiery furnace, so the good book do declare. Oh, Lord, Lord, if you can't help me, for goodness sake, don't you help that bear. Lord, Lord, if you can't help me, for goodness sake, don't you help that bear. Well, they fought all the way down to the river, and it was a terrible fight. The bear was really laying it on, but the preacher, he was doing all right. He dragged that beast down to the water. It was 3 times in and out. The bear got loose and he limped away, and the preacher, he began to shout. He yelled, Lord, you delivered Daniel from the lion's den. Delivered Jonah from the belly of the whale, amen. Now, Lord, it may not seem like much from where you sit up there, but the hardest job that I have ever done was baptizing that bear. Yes, the hardest job that I've ever done was baptizing that bear. Lord, you delivered Daniel from the lion's den. Delivered Jonah from the belly of the whale, and then the Hebrew children from the fiery furnace, so the good book do declare. Oh Lord, Lord, if you can't help me, for goodness sake, don't you help that bear. Lord, Lord, if you can't help me, for goodness sake, don't you help that bear. And that's the story of the preacher and the bear.
There's another good story. I like that one.
I think there's a misunderstanding somewhere in there, but you never know. Hey, Lulu, how are you? You gonna play some music?
It looks like.
You ready? Okay. Push a button. See? You did it.
She did it.
Okay. What do we got next?
The Dogs.
The Dogs song.
Yes.
Okay. You know, if dogs could sing, here's a song that might be sung by one of man's best friends. She said, I'm tired of being treated like a dog. I'm out of here. When I heard those words, it really made me perk up my ears. I know she's been mistreated, but what she said is wrong. If he'd have treated her like a dog, she'd have never gone. If he had rolled around and played with her on the floor down in the den, taking her for nice long walks and giving her a bath, and then dried her off, rubbed her tummy, scratched her behind her ears, well, I'll bet you a bag of kennel ration that she'd still be here if he had only treated her like a dog. Happy ever after would have been their epilogue. She'd have never strayed away from home. She'd have wagged her tail and tagged along if he had only treated her like a dog. He calls me prince, treats me like a king. When it comes to her, I don't know why he can't do the same doggone thing. Like wash her dish and water bowl every night like he does mine. Compliment her, give her little treats from time to time. Let her out all on her own every now and then. Well, I'd have had me some stiff competition to be that man's best friend if he had only treated her like a dog. Happy ever after would have been their epilogue. She'd have never stayed away from home. She'd have wagged her tail and tagged along if he had only treated her like a dog. If he had only treated her like a dog.
Mary Williams has joined.
Hey, Mary.
She's hi there. Cute song.
Thank you. Thank you. glad you could come and visit with us for a little while here today. That's really good. I hope everybody out your way is doing as good as we are here. That's for sure. Okay, Kitty Cat's Revenge, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
That last song and this one were both done by one of my comedic heroes, Ray Stevens. And we got to give
Very talented.
That's right. We got to do what we can to give equal time to cats.
That's right.
There aren't as many songs about cats as there are about dogs and horses and other animals. I did have one other one called The Cat Came Back, but I didn't find it until a day or two ago, and I just couldn't whip it into shape. But it will be played in a subsequent show somewhere, because it's pretty funny. Anyway, this is called The Kitty Cat's Revenge. Almost. When I was young, I had a job with the fire department rescue squad, and one day we got a call to get a cat out of a drainage line. Well, the lady was frantic and the day was hot. She mentioned that her kitty was an ocelot, a fact that did not seem all that important at the time. Because they're usually neutered, declawed, and defanged, but this little feller still had everything. And when I found him in that drain line, he was a trembling, shaking mess. Well, I went to grab him, and he grabbed me first, and that's the worst I thought I'd ever been hurt. But that was before I hit my head on that big dirt dauber's nest. Since I was on my knees anyway, figured I might as well offer up a little prayer. Lord, have mercy on me, save a place in heaven for me, 'cause we're running out of room in this drainage pipe. The cat and the bees don't need no help, they're doing just fine all by themselves, but anything you could do for me, Lord, I'd sure be much obliged. Well, everywhere I turned was tooth and claw. It was like trying to fight a circle saw. And those bees, Lord have mercy, friends, they were all over me. It was a stinging, biting, clawing fight. Then I dropped my big flashlight, but it really did not matter. I was hurting so bad I couldn't see. On my hands and knees, I couldn't stand up. I couldn't turn around, so I had to back up, but I could not see or remember which way I had come in from. Well, I took a wrong turn and the grade got steep. Me and the cat dropped 30 feet. And most of those bees followed us on down to that sewage treatment pond. You talk about stepping in it, friends. I was in it up to my clavicles. Lord, have mercy on me. Save a place in heaven for me, 'cause all of my strength is nearly gone. The bees are stinging and the cat can't swim, and I can't get away from either one of them. I think it's time you intervened, Lord, and called somebody home. Well, my buddies found me and pulled me free, and friends, I look like a Christmas tree. They sprayed the bees and gave the lady back her cat. I went home and showered about 14 times, got bandaged up, and I did just fine. But in my whole life, I've never hurt so bad or smelled quite like that. And I remember praying, Lord, have mercy on me. Save a place in heaven for me, 'cause we're running out of room in this drainage pipe. The cat and the bees don't need no help. They're doing just fine all by themselves. But anything you can do for me, Lord, I'd sure be much obliged. Anything you could do for me, Lord, I'd sure be much obliged.
Benji said, I love this one.
Yeah. I mean, you're right there.
Yes. And Mary said, nice to see you, George, and hear you too, Lin.
Yeah.
So we're very glad to have you with us.
Indeed. Absolutely.
Now.
Hope you'll be able to join us more often. And we ought to get together and talk somehow. That's what we ought to do. It's been way too long. What's next?
Puppy at the Pound.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I believe in, I support animal shelters. You know, most of my dogs are purebreds, just because it happens that way. And of course, guide dogs are almost always that way.
Linda said one of my favorites.
Thanks, Linda. I hope Jimmy liked it too. So this is a song, and I don't know who did this. I can't. I'm sure I could look it up somewhere if I were so inclined. It's called "Puppy at the Pound." Can we get a dog? Mom said yes. We looked at Dad. He said, I guess it might be nice to have a dog around. Let's go pick out a puppy at the pound. Puppy at the pound, puppy at the pound. Might be nice to have a dog around. Puppy at the pound, puppy at the pound. We're picking out a puppy at the pound. What do you want, Mom? I don't care, as long as it doesn't shed its hair. Won't bark at night or dig up the ground. Let's go pick out a puppy at the pound. Puppy at the pound, puppy at the pound. Won't bark at night or dig up the ground. Puppy at the pound, puppy at the pound. We're picking out a puppy at the pound. What do you want, Dad? Not too small, one I can train to come when I call. Kinda smart but not tightly wound. Let's go pick out a puppy at the pound. What do you want, kids? We don't care. Let's just get the best one there. Happiest, friendliest dog around. Let's go pick out a puppy at the pound. We saw bulldogs, boxers, mastiffs, malamute. Dogs so weird and ugly they were cute. We saw bloodhounds, coonhounds, wolfhounds, and Shar-Pei. Setters and retrievers, and one Bichon Frise. We got the perfect puppy at the pound, lab poodle mixed with basset hound. She's exactly what we need, the perfect smorgasbreed. She sheds a little, barks now and then. When Dad calls, he has to call again. But she's the happiest, friendliest dog around. We got the perfect puppy at the pound. Puppy at the pound, puppy at the pound, happiest, friendliest dog around. Puppy at the pound, puppy at the pound. We got the perfect puppy at the pound. Puppy at the pound.
Mary said that would be great. I'll get in touch with you, Lynn, and we'll set that up. Love to talk to both of you.
Yeah.
So she responded to what you said.
Good, good. Yeah, let's do that. We can exchange phone numbers or something and chat for a while. Catch up.
Yes.
Find out how Brenda's getting along. I haven't heard from her in a long time. All right. What is next, O keeper of the list?
I'm a werecat.
You are?
You
I am
never
too.
knew. Oh.
Wow.
Linda said applause, applause. But I think she put that up before we did that little thing there.
Yeah, I know you're big into supporting shelters and all, and I don't know if I've ever played that song for you or not, Linda. I play it a lot, but I can't recall ever playing it for you, Lulu. is pushing the Autoharp off my lap.
Mary says, sounds good, and Brenda is good.
Oh,
That's
good.
to know.
That's good to know. Okay. We all have problems in our lives, things that just seem to overwhelm us. And we look at them and we tell people about them, and we look for sympathy. And some sanctimonious soul comes along and says, well, if you'll just look around a little bit, you'll find someone with more problems than you've got. Well, that's true, I guess. I guess that's true. But this is a song about a guy with a problem so horrible, so debilitating that, well, every time I think about it, all of my problems just pale in significance. There's a full moon in the pasture tonight. It hangs like a finely polished pearl, so pure and white. Most guys see great beauty in its light, but I'm a were-cow. Moo, moo, moo. I'm a were-cow, and now I'm stuck. It seemed so innocent when Bossy bit my hand. I was just trying to milk her, but I didn't understand that Bossy really was Pierre the handyman. He was a were-cow. Moo, moo, moo. He was a were-cow. By day I worked the fields here on my daddy's farm. By night I roamed the neighbor's place in search of corn, chewing my cud and trying to keep my udders warm. I'm a were-cow. Moo, moo, moo. I'm a were-cow. The mornings after always make my family wince. I know it's hard for them to try and make some sense. Finding me naked with my head stuck through a fence. But I'm a were-cow. Moo, moo, moo. I'm a were-cow. I found this gypsy who said she could break the curse. She said she sympathized with me, but she'd seen worse. Lon Chaney Jr. used to be a client of hers. She was pretty. She wore a nice dress. Shoot, I was impressed. She asked for money and I gladly said I'd pay. But when she said $1 million, I swear I was enraged. So I bit that gypsy. And now, well, we're engaged. She's a were-cow. She's a were-cow. And a right purty little heifer she is too. These days the sheriff lets me spend my nights in jail, so I won't hurt nobody when the moon is pale, or wind up as an entree at the local steak and ale. I'm a were-cow. Moo, moo, moo. I'm a were-cow. Moo, moo, moo. I'm a were-cow. Somebody call a vet. Yeah, I think I got a touch of milk fever. I'm a were-cow. Moo. I'm coming after you.
Linda said Jimmy's laughing. That's all.
Yeah, if anybody has spent any time on a farm around cows, they'll understand.
Yeah.
I did my share of that. Where we are.
We are at I Want My Dog Back.
Me too. Boy, you and I agree on so many things today.
Nan said, love it.
Thanks, Nan. I'm glad to hear that. I wonder if Debbie's still with us. She hasn't said much. These people are nuts.
Well.
Hi again.
Many unusual songs.
Yes,
Good
indeed.
songs.
Well,
Lulu likes that one.
Lulu likes were-cow.
I'm surprised my Sadie didn't come see you about that one.
Yeah.
Making animal noises
Making
usually gets
animal
her
noises.
up in your face.
Well, I know the one to make, but I want to keep my cables all connected.
Right.
You know, the
Oh, yeah.
that's the one. If you want to see Sadie get excited. Anyway.
Her head came up, but she's staying there. Lazy dog.
Lazy Sadie. Let us not tempt fate. This is a song that was written by Tom T. Hall, and I don't think he ever performed it, but he wrote it, and it's called I Want My Dog Back. Let's see. I came home from work last night and this is what I found. The wife was gone, the dog was gone, there was no one around. She took the car, she took the dog, I don't know where she's at. I don't care where she went, I want my dog back. I want my dog back, he is faithful, he is true. I want my dog back, I don't know what I'll do. If he gets out, he'll come on home. He knows that I'll be blue. The only thing that worries me is she might come back too. I never understood that girl, but I sure love that pup. He knew where the bones were hid and he could dig 'em up. He sniffed out the neighborhood for a female he could track. He's smarter than she is, I want my dog back. I want my dog back, he is faithful, he is true. I want my dog back, I don't know what I'll do. If he gets out, he'll come on home. He knows that I'll be blue. The only thing that worries me is she might come back too. Thing that really bothers me, what gets to me the worst. She don't care for my old dog, she just wants me to hurt. She can come and get the stuff she didn't think to pack. All I want from her, I want my dog back. I want my dog back, he is faithful, he is true. I want my dog back, I don't know what I'll do. If he gets out, he'll come on home. He knows that I'll be blue. The only thing that worries me is she might come back too. If anybody sees my wife, tell her, give me a call. I won't even raise my voice, I just want my dog is all. I'll make her an offer, there will be no questions asked. She can have it all, I want my dog back. I want my dog back. He is faithful, he is true. I want my dog back. I don't know what I'll do. If he gets out, he'll come on home. He knows that I'll be blue. The only thing that worries me is she might come back too. Yeah, the only thing that worries me is she might come back too. I don't know. Definitely a different set of priorities for that guy. Let's see. What do we got next? Blizzard?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, this song is a little bit different. It was done by a country singer by the name of Jim Reeves many years ago. And it talks about a man and the sacrifices that he eventually made for his faithful horse.
Mary said good one on that.
Who?
Mary.
Oh, thanks, Mary. I'm glad you like it. There's a blizzard coming on. How I'm wishing I was home. For my pony's lame and he can't hardly stand. Listen to that norther sigh. If we don't get home, we'll die. But it's only 7 miles to Marianne. It's only 7 miles to Marianne. That wind's howling and it seems mighty like a woman screams. And we best be moving faster if we can. Lord, my hands feel like they're froze, and there's a numbness in my toes. But it's only 5 more miles to Marianne. It's only 5 more miles to Marianne. You can bet we're on her mind, for it's nearly supper time. And I'll bet there's hot biscuits in the pan. And just think about that barn with that hay so soft and warm. 'Cause it's only 3 more miles to Marianne. It's only 3 more miles to Marianne. Dan, get up, you ornery cuss, or you'll be the death of us. I'm so weary, but I'll help you if I can. All right, Dan, perhaps it's best that we stop a while and rest. We're still 100 yards from Marianne. We're still 100 yards from Marianne. Late that night, the storm was gone, and they found him there at dawn. He'd have made it, but he just couldn't leave old Dan. Yes, they found him on the plains, his hands frozen to the rain. He was just 100 yards from Marianne. He was just 100 yards from Marianne. Of course, that's what happens when someone freezes to death. It's if you have to die, it's one of the most pleasant ways to go because you just fall asleep. Your blood coagulates and freezes, and you start to, the circulation slows down, and you just want to rest for just a minute. And if you do that, well, you don't make it. All right, we need to cheer up here.
Yes.
What do we got next?
Short and squat.
Oh yes, this is this is a song done by the Smothers Brothers, which they really are brothers, and they did a comedy act in the '60s. They had a TV show on CBS for a long time, a variety type show, and then they had another show where one of the brothers drowned and came back as an angel. And of course, it was the dumb one, so he was always messing up. Anyway, this song is called Short and Squat and Hairy. Let's see here. Let me get it together. As I was a-going to the North Pole so merry, I met a St. Bernard, he was short and squat and hairy. I drew forth his stick and was getting set to heave her, saying, "Fetch and deliver, for you are a bold retriever." Wish-a-ring-um-door-um-die. Whack-fall-da-daddy-o, whack-fall-da-daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar. Up around his neck there was hung a keg of whiskey. Now and then old Rover took a snort and got so frisky. And as he chased the stick, he would do a tricky waddle, but he really wasn't tricky. He was pie-eyed from the bottle. Wish-a-ring-um-door-um-die. Whack-fall-da-daddy-o, whack-fall-da-daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar. I threw the stick so far, it was kinda hard to trace it. Old Rover said bow wow and was getting set to chase it. But a car came driving by and he changed his mind and sought it. But I knew he couldn't drive one, not even if he caught it. Wish-a-ring-um-door-um-die. Whack-fall-da-daddy-o, whack-fall-da-daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar. Well, that's about the end of my song, and poor old Rover, he caught it in a fan belt and his roving days are over. Whoops. It's like, what are you going to do when you catch that? That poor retriever lies neath the ground so cold and chilly, and I have to fetch the stick myself. Boy, do I look silly. Mush-a-ring-um-door-um-die. Whack-fall-da-daddy-o, whack-fall-da-daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar. Mush-a-ring-um-door-um-die. Whack-fall-da-daddy-o, whack-fall-da-daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar.
Benji has that. Amber says she's always loved this one.
Oh,
That's
good. Yeah, that's a good song. Lynn, you noticed that this Autoharp is...
Flip is here. Hey,
oh, hey, Flip!
Here.
Glad you could make it. Far out. All right. I was just going to make the observation. You've seen this harp, and you know that it doesn't stay in tune.
Right.
But it's staying in tune now.
That sounds good.
Yes, indeed. Okay, let us go back to the top and do Philippa's Request. This is a song that was done by John Denver. And he's never been done by anybody else, probably because they didn't have the nerve. Uh, but I used to sing it a lot when Lin and Philip and I were palling around back in college. It's called Forest Lawn. It's not about animals. Don't think there's an animal mentioned in the whole thing, actually. But anyway, here you go, Flip. Oh.
Sorry, heavy snow here. Got delayed getting here.
Well, living where you live, I understand that. I guess you still get some of the lake effect there. I'm glad you got back safe and sound.
Yes.
And everything. And here's your song. Oh, oh, lay me down in forest lawn in a silver casket. Put golden flowers over my head in a silver basket. Let the drum and bugle corps play cap taps while the cannons roar. And 16 liveried employees sell souvenirs from the funeral store. I want to go simply when I go. They'll give me a simple funeral there, I know. With a casket lined in fleece and fireworks spelling out rest in peace. So take me when I'm gone, Forest Lawn. Oh, lay me down in Forest Lawn, they understand there. They have a heavenly choir and a military band there. Just put me in their care, I'll find my comfort there. With 16 planes and a last salute, they'll drop across in a parachute. I want to go simply when I go. They'll give me a simple funeral there, I know. With 100 strolling strings, with topless dancers with golden wings. Oh, take me when I'm gone to Forest Lawn. Oh, come, 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 come to the church in the wildwood. Kindly leave a contribution in the pail. Be as simple and as trusting as a child would, and we'll sell you the church in the dale. To find a simple resting place is my desire. To lay me down with a smiling face comes a little bit higher. My likeness cast in brass will stand in plastic grass, while hidden weights and springs tip its hat to the mourners filing past. I want to go simply when I go. They'll give me a simple funeral there, I know. I'll lie beneath the sand with piped-in tapes of Billy Graham. Oh, take me when I'm gone to Forest Lawn. Rock of Ages, cleft for me, for a slightly higher fee. Oh, take me when I'm gone to Forest Lawn. Amen. There you go. Just for you. Brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah. That's a good song.
Okay. Where were we?
Elmer Jones in C.
Okay. Let me wet my whistle here. This one. This is a tune that was done by Phil Harris and his orchestra. He was a big band leader back in the 50s. And he was on the Jack Benny program for many years. Linda, I gave your mom, when I gave her some Jack Benny episodes that I had, and she got a big kick out of them.
Flip said thanks and a lot of beers, too.
Oh, yeah. Go Bulls!
Oh my gosh, I hadn't thought of those.
Yeah, man. They just don't make beer like that anymore, which is probably a good thing, but all right. Now Elmer Jones arose at dawn and put his hunting breeches on and looked up at his shotgun on the wall. He made his mind up then and there that he would bag himself a bear. At shooting, he had plenty on the ball. He milked the cow and fed the hog, kissed his wife and called the dog, picked up his gun and started on his quest. He crossed the creek and hit the trees, threw back his head and sniffed the breeze, let out a yell and pounded on his chest. Here comes Elmer, Elmer's got his gun. Here comes Elmer, run, bear, run. He hunted all the morning through, but not a bear came into view, and Elmer's thoughts were on the kitchen range. For he was tired as he could be of lamb and chicken fricassee, and craved a mess of bear meat for a change. Poor Elmer's mind was in a fog. He paused, sat down on a log to get his faculties back in the groove. He heard a noise, and standing there before him was a grizzly bear. He figured it was time he made his move. Here comes Elmer, Elmer's got his gun. Here comes Elmer, run, bear, run. He grabbed his gun and turned around, but that old grizzly stood his ground, and Elmer said, "It's either me or thou." The gun refused to fire, and so he knew that someone had to go. He said, "Farewell, I'm leaving as of now." Elmer's shoulders sprouted wings, his feet developed inner springs. To linger longer, he was disinclined. He ran so fast through muck and mire, his ankles set his socks afire, but still that bear came running up behind. Here comes Elmer, Elmer's got his gun. Here comes Elmer, run, bear, run. A deer with antlers 8 feet wide got in the way of Elmer's stride as both of them were headed for the brush. Elmer said, "Now listen, son, if that's the fastest you can run, move over, 'cause I'm really in a rush." The bear was gaining inch by inch and finally reached out for the clinch as Elmer saw the fence around his place. He leaped the fence and landed hard, jumped 50 feet across the yard, slammed the kitchen door in Bruin's face. Here comes Elmer, Elmer's got his gun. Here comes Elmer, run, bear, run. The bear was trying to get inside, and Elmer sought a place to hide, and Mrs. Jones began to pull her hair. She said, "This fuss has got to stop. Why don't you let that matter drop?" He said, "Honey, you go tell that to the bear." Mrs. Jones said, "Listen, goon, how come you think you're Dan'l Boone, whose appetite on bear meat used to thrive?" He said, "I'm sure that you're aware that Dan'l always killed his bear, but honey, I done brought this baby home alive." Here comes Elmer, Elmer's got his gun. Here comes Elmer, run, bear, run.
And also Philippa said, "And Robin Hood Ale."
Oh, yeah.
I remember that one. And look up Tate's Hell when you get a chance. Is that another song?
Don't know.
Tate's Hell, or is that a beer?
I don't know. I don't recall ever hearing that unless it was one of unless I heard it on one of my inebriated nights.
We shall look it up.
We shall look it up. Write
Yes.
it down.
Yes.
Okay. Always looking for new material, new experiences, and old memories. So, there it is. What's next?
Hold on just a second.
Oh, okay.
She said, "Love that one," and also song. So it is a song.
Okay.
What I thought. But
All right. I will definitely look it up.
there
And,
wouldn't be a beer called that.
Oh,
But
I don't
it's
know.
not a bad idea.
There's
Some of these new little breweries.
there's a beer called Flying. There's a brewery called Flying Bitch,
No, no.
and they have brews like Hot Bitch and Bitch and Heat and all that.
Oh, dear. She
So-
said no from before I met you guys.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, look, if it's auto-harpable, I will try to learn it for you. Some songs just use really odd chords that I
Yeah.
can't approximate even, but we'll see.
Let's see. Oh, I love this next one.
A Dog's Heart?
Yes.
I hope I can get through this one.
Sadie has a patch on her neck shaped just like a heart. People have seen maybe have seen that picture of her.
Yeah. This song is called A Dog's Heart.
Let's see. Simple structure, Philippa said.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Well, I can do a lot more complicated structures than I used to be able to do when we were playing together, believe me.
Yes.
I have, just to fill in a couple of people, I had put the Autoharp down for about 5 years, other than just picking it up occasionally. I wasn't playing it anymore. And then on the Sunday after Thanksgiving 2017, a Facebook friend of Lin's did a live stream, and he just stuck his iPhone up there and in front of him and played the guitar and sang a little bit. And man, he had a great time. And he is the inspiration. I've been trying to get him to come listen to me, but he won't do it. But he was the inspiration. I said, man, I could do that. I could get back in touch with all these people and I could play music for them. It wouldn't be quite as good as having them right here in the house, but it'd be better than nothing. And it caused me to pick the auto harp up and get really intensely serious about it. And so I've been on it for a couple of years now, and I've tried to play really complex stuff. So
I have a message from Linda. Jimmy wants to know if you know the song "Me and You and a Dog Named Boo."
Just the chorus, but here it is. Let's see. Me and you and a dog named Boo, happy living off the land. Me and you and a dog named Boo, I'll be out on the road again. That's all I know of it, Jimmy, but I'll learn it, and you drop by next time and I'll have it for you.
And then Philippa said, Will McLean wrote Tate's Hell and quite a few other good ones. Will
McLean, write that down. I've never heard of him. And write down that song title, Me and You and a Dog Named Boo. Okay. I've got it on a drive somewhere around here. I didn't think to include it. But I will. And I'll let you know. And Jimmy, if you will follow if you're on Facebook, I don't know if you are. I wasn't until I got into this stuff. But if you are, and if you'll follow the Autoharp Down Home page, it'll tell you when the next one will be, and I'll have it ready for you. And
all right. I'm sorry. Linda said all right, and also Philippa said from Florida, meaning Will McLean, I imagine.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm always interested in new material. That's for sure. Okay, where were we now?
A Dog's Heart.
A Dog's Heart. Okay. You're free. Oh, I'm playing this in the wrong key. Did you see another? Was there another comment? I heard you clicking your mouse.
Yes, I have a comment from Linda. Jimmy says thanks, and Philip is talking about Will McLean was a Florida folk singer songwriter. He was inducted into the Florida Artists Hall of Fame in '96. McLean has been called the father of Florida folk and wrote more than 3,700 songs and stories. He always said, "My soul is a hawk." That's from Wikipedia.
My goodness. I haven't written one song yet. I'll definitely look him up, Philippa. I promise. sits by the back door. But there's no one here to play with it anymore. I still think you'll be here when I get home from work, and I walk into this empty house and my empty heart hurts. Sounds foolish to say, the only way that I get through is trying to live my days a little more like you. Stop and smell the roses, be grateful to be outside, be happy every morning, it's another morning you're alive. Forgive and let go, still play when you get old. Don't judge others, just love one another. You gave me a brand new start when you showed me the world through a dog's heart. You were there when she broke my heart the last time, and you didn't care when we were on our last dime. Buried all my secrets way down deep with your bones. You loved me for who I was when people would come and go. This couch wasn't made for two, but it was big enough for me and you. Fur on the floor was what I paid to see you every day. Stop and smell the roses, be grateful to be outside, be happy every morning, it's another morning you're alive. Forgive and let go, still play when you get old. Don't judge others, just love one another. You gave me a brand new start when you showed me the world through a dog's heart. You made me laugh, you made me smile, and at the end you made me cry. When I had to kiss your head and I had to tell you goodbye. Now I stop and smell the roses, I'm grateful to be outside. I'm happy every morning, it's another morning I'm alive. I'll forgive and let go, I'll still play when I get old. I won't judge others, I'll love one another. You gave my life a brand new start when you showed me the world. Showed me the world, showed me the world through a dog's heart. When you showed me the world through a dog's heart. I don't know the artist on that one, but
Wow, but that's a good song.
yeah, it'll get you.
It got me.
Look out, Lulu.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm throwing water glasses at you.
Yes, very well.
Get that.
She doesn't care.
So I don't fetch glasses. I just fetch go-nuts and Kongs and toys and stuff.
Yep, but it's over there.
Right. It's right there.
Right there for you.
If you'll get down on the floor, I'll show you right where it is. All right. Any comments that we missed?
No,
No? Okay.
Let's see. Rabbit in a log, indeed.
All right. Gotta get at least one rodent in here.
Wait, I have a comment. Hold on. Let's see. Philippa's showing me a website, and Mary's about Will McLean that we could go to. And Mary says, "Good song. I like that. Never heard it before.
Yeah, it's not it wasn't popular. It's very rare. Um,
Oh, but it's a wonderful way to look.
yeah, I had to practice it about 80 times before I could get through it. Okay. Rabbit in a log and I ain't got no dog. How will I get him? I know. Get me a briar and I'll twist it in his hair. That's how I'll get him, I know. I know, really I know. That's how I'll get him, I know. Get me a briar and I'll twist it in his hair. That's how I'll get him, I know. Build me a fire and I'll roast that old hare. Roll him in the flames nice and brown. Feasting tonight while the moon shines so bright. I got no place to lie down. To lie down, to lie down, place to lie down. I got no place to lie down. Feasting tonight while the moon shines so bright. I got no place to lie down. Walking down the track with a chicken on my back. Soles on my shoes nearly gone. Little ways ahead there's an old farmer's shed. That's where I'll rest my weary bones. Weary bones, lazy bones. That's how I'll rest my weary bones. Little ways ahead there's an old farmer's shed. That's where I'll rest my weary bones. Rabbit in a log and I ain't got no dog. How will I get him? I know. Get me a briar and I'll twist it in his hair. That's how I'll get him, I know. I know, really I know. That's how I'll get him, I know. Get me a briar and I'll twist it in his hair. That's how I'll get him, I know. And it's still in tune. That's amazing. This harp, I usually only get about 5 or 10 songs out of it before I have to switch. And I've got another one sitting on the bed over here, ready to go. But it looks like old, I call this one China because it was made in China. It looks like it's going to finish the stretch.
Yeah, looks
nice
like.
going there. What do we got next?
Let's see here.
Old Dog Tray?
Me and Old Dog Tray.
Me and Old Dog Tray. Okay. Oh, I can't remember this guy's name, but he's Peter. Oh, I can't remember his name. He's a Cajun, and he played music forever. I'm having a.
Flip said fun song, and she agreed about the other one too, that it was a good song.
Yeah, good. You liked it. Let's see here. Where are we? Old Dog Tray. Me and Old Dog Tray. Okay. Traipsing across the bayou, howling at the moon, running through the backwoods, barking at some coon, riding down the red dirt roads at twilight time of day, driving in my pickup truck, me and Old Dog Tray. pulling to the mailbox, wagging his old tail, rousing me like thunder lest he gets to hold the mail. Never drops a postcard, hardly gets it wet. That's my old dog Trey, good as dogs can get. Now Trey, he ain't no big dog, in fact he's kinda small. Trey, he ain't no pure blood, mongrel dog is all. He ain't no special color, black and gray and tan, but nothing makes my heart feel good just the way he can. When I played my harp for him, he would sing along. Ma said that ain't singing, howling ain't no song. But we did not give two dried beans what my ma did say. We just called it music, me and old dog Trey. Born in late October 1969. The first time I laid eyes on him, I said, that dog is mine. Paul said, wait until he's weaned, then we'll pick him up. That's your birthday present, funny looking pup. Funny looking puppy, funny looking dog. We had fun together, rain or shine or fog. Winter, summer, fall, or spring, it was all okay, 'cause we had each other, me and old dog Trey. Nothing will last forever, everything will pass. Now he's on the hillside, lying neath the grass. But I know for certain sure, somewhere far away, I'll play harp and he will sing, me and old dog Trey. Thank you.
I like that one.
I do too. I have a whole folder full of songs about dogs, but a lot of them aren't autoharpable, and a few of them I can't play because I'll cry. Where are we now?
Getting in the Cows.
Oh yeah. I don't know who did this song. I really don't. I heard it on a national public radio program called A Prairie Home Companion, hosted by a grand old man named Garrison Keeler. And I just happened to have a tape of the show. A friend of mine named Diane Morrow gave it to me, and I learned the song from that. I don't know if it's ever been recorded. I haven't really looked for it. But anyway, here it is. It's called Getting in the Cows.
Oh, wait, I do have a comment.
Oh, good.
Yep, reminds me of my buddy Stubby, Philip said.
Cool. Everybody had a dog like that. I did. Her name was Noelle. She wasn't a real big dog. She was, I would say, a medium-sized dog. We got her for Christmas when I was 6, and she was put down when I went away to college at the age of 18. She was quite a dog. She she had her first litter of puppies in my bed. It scared me to death. I was like 7 years old, and these little creatures are running around my bed. I woke up screaming, man. And she's like, don't hurt my puppies. Oh, my.
Flips the Prairie Home Companion, well worth listening to, and that's the truth. That was a good show. Garrison Keeler.
Yeah.
Quite.
Lake Wobegon.
Yes, Lake Wobegon.
Where all the something or other and all the children are above average.
Yeah.
Yeah. man, that was a great show.
And something about biscuits, hot rod.
Oh, yeah. What was that? Oh, Powder Milk Biscuits.
That's right.
Powder Milk Biscuits. And it was brought to you by Powder Milk Biscuits and Jack's Toast House and Bebop a Rebop Rhubarb Pie.
Oh, yeah. Rhubarb.
Bebop a Rebop Rhubarb Pie. Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Tell me where we are again.
Getting in the
cows.
I like this.
I will get them in. I promise I will. Getting in the cows, shoe 'em in the barn, put 'em in the stench and turn the radio on. Milk 'em all dry, send 'em out again. Wait a month on the dairy for the check to come in. I work hard every day from sun up to dark. Now I'm going to the pasture, bring the milk cows up. I got a Holstein and a Jersey and a one-eyed steer. An old brown cow that jumps fences like a deer. Well, the dune's on the ground and my feet are wet. Got a light in my hand, a hat on my head. Going to the pasture to get my herd. Just chewing their cuds and a-looking at the birds. Getting in the cows, shoe 'em in the barn, put 'em in the stench and turn the radio on. Milk 'em all dry, send 'em out again. Wait a month on the dairy for the check to come in. Get up, you cows, and get on the move. Their udders are swinging like water in balloons. I put 'em in the barn and they know their place. The lead one first and then I close the gate. Well, I bring the cart around, give 'em all some feed. They lick their nose, flap their ears at me. Put 'em on the machine and it feels so good to let down their milk like a good cow should. Getting in the cows, shoe 'em in the barn, put 'em in the stench and turn the radio on. Milk 'em all dry, send 'em out again. Wait a month on the dairy for the check to come in. City folks say a cow's face looks so fine, but I see their back ends most of the time. I sweat all summer putting hay in the mow and work all winter to feed it to the cows. Well, the milking's all done, I got the weather report. Got my day all planned for my job of work. Back to the pasture goes part of my life. Now I'm going in the house and hug my wife. Getting in the cow, shoe 'em in the barn, put 'em in the stench and turn the radio on. Milk 'em all dry, send 'em out again. Wait a month on the dairy for the check to come in. Yeah, the life of the dairy farmer.
Yes.
All right.
Next, do we have the higher education?
Oh yeah, here you go, Benji. This is one of Benji
Yeah.
Harris's favorite
Hold on
songs.
just a minute. I have a. Linda says brings back memories.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Let's see. This is a website Philip sent, but I'm not sure who that. Oh, picture of cows going on. That's good. I can't see it as well as I could.
Picture of what?
Cows. I think a guy looking at cows. It's hard to see. It's real little JPEG right there.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks, Flip.
I don't mess with stuff too much while I'm.
Yeah, when we're online, because Lynn has the James T. Kirk touch.
I do.
She can crash any device.
Right.
On more than one occasion, she reduced her phone to a point where you could not see the screen. It was just black.
Well, I also turned reverse colors.
Well, that's how you did it. That's how you did it. We finally figured it out. But
Oh, she said jazz for cows. I see. Okay.
yes, indeed.
Let's see. We are doing higher education.
Higher education. Okay. This is yet another song by Ray Stevens. I don't think I could get through even one of these shows without something from Ray. Well, my daddy was a backwoods self-made type. Never went to school, couldn't read or write, but he made a fortune selling hogs and was suspicious of education. So when I told him I was going off to school, he said, well, you'll just become some city-fied fool. Don't expect no help from me, son. No financial remuneration. Well, my dad was tight, but he loved his dogs, that's true. And his favorite of the pack was called Old Blue. So I called my dad when I got to college. I said, Dad, I know you don't think too much of human knowledge, but they got a course down here where they can teach dogs to speak. Now, I don't mean speak like bark for a bone. No, they say these dogs can carry on an intelligent conversation. And some even go on to teach. And when I heard of that course, of course, I thought of you. And how great it'd be for you to sit and talk to Old Blue. Well, the line went silent, and I thought all was lost, and he finally spoke up and said, what's that cost? I said, Pop, it's a bargain at $5,000 per semester. Well, he didn't balk, and he didn't complain, and Blue showed up on the very next train, and that's how my dad became a proud investor in the higher education of Old Blue. A story that if it's not, it ought to be true. About a fiscal windfall situation of my very own creation. The inspiration that I call the education of Old Blue. And the money just rolled in. 8 semesters. $40,000. Woo! All too soon, time to graduate. The day it dawned that I'd grown to hate. The day I'd have to go home and face my dad. I got off the train. He said, where's Old Blue? Come here, boy, I want to talk to you. I swallowed hard and said, Pop, I got some news and I'm afraid it's bad. See, coming home on the train, Blue was smoking his pipe and reading the New York Times. Then he took off his glasses and looked at me. He said, are you aware of your daddy's crimes? Well, he's a mass murderer, just ask any hog, and he treated my mama just like a dog, rubbed my nose and stuff you wouldn't believe, made me sleep on the hard, cold ground. But I can talk now, and his days are through, 'cause I'm going to tell your mama a thing or two about his secret drinking habit. Yeah, and his affair with the widow Brown. When I heard Blue say those things, Pop, something snapped inside my brain. And I grabbed him up and I strangled him. And I throwed him off the train. Well, he looked at me with his eyes ablaze and his face contorted like somebody crazed, and it didn't look like he believed a word I'd said. Then he grabbed my coat and he pulled me real close. He said, boy, there's just one thing I want to know. Are you real sure that no-good lying flea bag is dead? And that's the story of the higher education of Old Blue. A story that if it's not, it ought to be true. About a fiscal windfall situation of our very own creation. The inspiration that I call the education of Old Blue. The inspiration that I call the education of Old Blue.
Benji said, love it, with a laughing face with tears. And Flip said, what about the Squirrel in Church by him? By Ray Stevens.
You know, it's been a while.
Yeah, I thought you might know that one.
When I was young, I took a trip every summer down to Mississippi to visit my granny in her antebellum world. I'd run barefooted all day long, climbing trees as free as a song. And one day, I happened to catch myself a squirrel. I stuffed him down in an old shoebox and punched a couple holes in the top, and when Sunday came, I snuck him into church. I was all the way back in the very last pew, showing it off to my good buddy Hugh, when that squirrel got loose and went totally berserk. What happened then is hard to tell. Some said it was heaven, some said it was hell, but the fact that something was among us was plain to see. As the choir sang, "I surrender all," the squirrel crawled up Harv Newman's coveralls. Harp leaped to his feet and said, "Some got a hold on me!" Woo! The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting hallelujah. Harv hit the aisles dancing and screaming. Some thought he had religion, some thought he had a demon, and Harv thought he had a weed eater loose in his Fruit of the Looms. He fell to his knees to plead and beg, and the squirrel crawled out of his breeches leg unobserved to the other side of the room. All the way back to the Amen pew where sat Sister Bertha Better Than You, observing the goings-on with sadistic glee. But you should have seen the look in her eyes when that squirrel jumped her garters and crossed her thighs. She jumped straight up and said, "Lord, have mercy on me." The squirrel made laps inside her dress, and she began to cry and then to confess to sins that would make a sailor blush with shame. She told of gossip and church dissension, but the thing that got the most attention was when she talked about her love life and started naming names. The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting hallelujah. 7 deacons and the pastor got saved, and $50,000 got raised, and 100 volunteered for a mission to the Congo on the spot. And even without an invitation, there were 700 rededications, and we all got rebaptized whether we needed it or not. Well, you've read the Bible story, I guess, of how he parted the water for Moses to pass. Oh, the miracles God hath wrought in this old world. But the one I'll remember till my dying day is how he put that church back on the narrow way with a half-crazed Mississippi squirrel. The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting hallelujah. The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting hallelujah. Well, that wasn't too bad.
Amber said nice, and Linda Saviard said amen, LOL.
Lulu likes it.
She's been kind of bugging me. I don't know.
Oh, she's
been wanting attention.
I put my
Oh,
clothes on. Yeah. And she is appealing to a higher court. Oh, driver of the Jeep, taketh us out of this house of tears and let me guide.
They're singing about animals.
That's right. I'm going to write a song about you.
Yes.
Okay, we have one left, right?
Yes.
All right. I'll get it right in a minute. We had some chickens, no eggs would they lay. We had some chickens, no eggs would they lay. My wife said, honey, we're losing money. 'Cause we have chickens, no eggs will they lay. But then a rooster came into our yard. He caught those chickens right off of their guard. They're laying eggs now like they never used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. We have a milk cow, no milk would she give. We had a milk cow, no milk would she give. My wife said, honey, you know we're losing money. We have a milk cow, no milk will she give. But then that rooster came back in our yard. He caught that milk cow right off of her guard. She's giving eggnog like she never used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. We had a dog, no pups would she have. We had a dog, no pups would she have. My wife said, honey, we're losing money. We have a dog, no pups will she have. But then that rooster came back in our yard. He caught that doggy right off of her guard. She's having bird dogs like she never used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. My Aunt Matilda, no kids did she have. Uh-oh. My Aunt Matilda, no kids did she have. My wife said, honey, it isn't funny. Poor Aunt Matilda, no kids does she have. And then that rooster came back in our yard. Matilda caught him right off of his guard. We had fried rooster, I tell you true, sir, last time that rooster came into our yard. You thought it was going to be something real mean, nasty, didn't you?
Well, there it is.
Everybody meets their Waterloo at some point in time. I hate to do that, but I needed to know. What do you think? Should we do another one?
Well.
Or should we just... Lulu.
Lulu says that's enough now.
Lulu says that's enough, 'cause we could still go somewhere.
Well, we could go on all afternoon, but really I think, wait a minute, we have the Irish Rovers, the Scotsmen, and the Chords. But you know the Scotsmen.
All right. That had to come from Philippa.
Did I not say?
No.
I'm sorry. Indeed it did, by the way.
Okay. A Scotsman clad in kilts left the bar one evening fair. One could tell by how he walked he'd drunk more than his share. He stumbled on until he could no longer keep his feet. Then he staggered off into the grass beside the road to sleep. Ring-ding-diddle-diddle-i-dee-o, ring-i-diddle-i-do. He staggered off into the grass to sleep beside the street. About that time, two young and lovely girls just happened by. One said to the other with a twinkle in her eye, "See yon sleeping Scotsman, so tall and handsome built, I wonder if it's true what they don't wear beneath their kilt." Ring ding diddle diddle I-D-O, ring I diddle I-Do, I wonder if it's true what they don't wear beneath their kilt. They crept up on the sleeping Scotsman quiet as could be, lifted up his kilt about an inch so they could see, and there behold for them to view beneath that Scottish skirt was nothing more than God had graced him with upon his birth. Ring ding diddle diddle I-D-O, ring I diddle I-Do, was nothing more than God had graced him with upon his birth. They marveled for a moment, then one said, "We must be gone. Let's leave a present for our friend before we move along." The gift they left a blue silk ribbon tied up in a bow. Around the bonny star the Scotsman's kilt did lift and show. Ring ding diddle diddle I-D-O, ring I diddle I-Do, around the bonny star the Scotsman's kilt did lift and show. The Scotsman woke to nature's call and stumbled toward the trees. Behind a bush he lifts his kilt and gawks at what he sees. And in a startled voice he said to what's before his eyes, "Ach, lad, I don't know where you been, but I see you won first prize." Ring ding diddle diddle I-D-O, ring I diddle I-Do, "Ach, lad, I don't know where you been, but I see you won first prize."
Always been a favorite.
Ah, the undefeatable male ego. Penis envy is alive and well. Here's a song that has a million different versions. Do you have a comment?
No.
Okay. It's called Stew Ball. It's about a racehorse. Come, all you men of sporting blood, and listen to my story. 'Tis of the noble Stew Ball, a gallant racing pony. 'Tis also of his rider, who brought both Stew Ball over. He said, "I'm another man," and he rolls around in clover. Bet on Stew Ball, my boy, and you might win. No, you'll win. Bet on Stew Ball, my boy, and you might win. Oh, the horses, they were all brought out with saddle, whip, and bridle. The gentlemen did shout when they saw the gallant riders, and some did shout, "Hooray!" and the air was filled with curses. On the mare Griselda, the sportsmen lay their purses. Bet on Stew Ball, my boy, and you might win. No, you'll win. Bet on Stew Ball, my boy, and you might win. Well, the trumpet it did sound, and they shot off like an arrow. Old Stew Ball scarcely touched the ground, and the going it was narrow. Griselda passed him by, and the sportsmen all did holler, "Oh, the gray will win the day, and Stew Ball he can follow." Bet on Stew Ball, my boy, and you might win. No, you'll win. Bet on Stew Ball, my boy, and you might win. In the middle of the track, up spoke the noble rider, "I fear we must fall back, that gray is running like a tiger." Up spoke the noble horse, ride on, my master. We're only halfway round the course, and now we'll see who's faster." Bet on Stew Ball, my boy, and you might win. No, you'll win. Bet on Stew Ball, my boy, and you might win. And as he did discourse, bold Stew Ball flew like lightning. He dashed around the course, and the gray mare she was taken. Ride on, my noble horse, for a good 200 guineas, and your saddle nape shall be of gold when we pick up our winnings. Bet on Stew Ball, my boy, and you might win. No, you'll win. Bet on Stew Ball, my boy, and you might win. Oh, past the winning post, old Stewball went so handy, and both the horse and rider called for sherry, wine, and brandy. They drank to that gray mare, the gallant Miss Griselda, and to all who lost their money on the sporting plains of Kildare. Bet on Stewball, my boy, and you might win. No, you'll win. Bet on Stewball, my boy, and you might win. Hey, bet on Stewball, and you might win. Bet on Stewball, my boy, and you might win.
Flip said, gee, how did you know it was me? On that other song.
I don't know. I have STP, you know.
Yes, that's right.
You just have to take that into account.
Right.
Guys, it has been a lot of fun.
We have had the best time because nothing went
wrong
as far
this
as
time.
We know, as far as we
As
know.
far as we know, well, no, nothing went wrong.
Nothing has gone wrong.
So perseverance pays.
Yes.
I actually, all it is, it's kind of like on a golf course. You know, they have all the hard par 4 and 5 holes, and then they have a par 3 to give you hope. Oh, he's getting discouraged. We better let him do it once.
That's right. But it was great to. Yay. Linda said this was a fun show. Thanks.
I'm glad
And
you liked it.
Nan said great time. We had a good time too.
So long, Jimmy. And
Yes.
the Autoharp is still in tune.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Well, Nan and all you guys, we're so glad. you
Really,
could come
thanks
by
for
and-
thanks for taking part of your Sunday afternoon to be with us.
Indeed.
As always, you know, tell your friends about us. We got it right this time, and maybe we can keep that up.
I hope so.
Um,
Hey, 2 in a row. We're shooting for it.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
So anyway, we will say good day.
Hold on a second. I have Benji says really enjoyed it.
Thanks,
Yes.
Benji.
Thank you.
Always glad to play for you. I hope we can get together and play for your family again sometime.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
really had
always
fun when we did that the Easter before last.
Amber says it sounded great with the picks. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
That's good
Yeah,
to
this
know.
is the first gig I've ever played with finger picks. I don't know if you could see them.
And Flip said let's chat in a bit.
We'll have to try to figure that out. I'll try, Philippa, but I'm really not very good at it. You would almost be better to chat with Lin and then have her come get me rather than to try to chat with me, because Facebook and I have this love-hate relationship. Yeah, it's adversarial.
Relationship.
It doesn't like my screen reader. I jump all over the pages. It's very hard. If you want to chat for fun, let's get together with Lin. If you want to help me learn how to do it, let's get together at another time and do that. I would love to chat with you. I really would. And if it didn't cost so much, I'd give you a call. But let's see what time it is.
Oh, it's now 3:00. So
yeah, 3:00.
Talk
So
on the phone.
just
if
about 2 hours.
Yeah.
I've got some things I need to do, so I would not be able to chat until like this evening, unfortunately.
Right.
But if you want to try to get it together, we sure will.
Oh, she said Discord yet?
Discord tends to take over my whole computer,
Right.
which
It doesn't play
as
nice.
a computer programmer really pisses me off, but I am going to give it another shot because I found some blind folks that have gotten it to work. And
that's news.
I have contacted them, and I'm waiting for them to get back to tell me how to do it without all the problems that I had with it and my screen reader. So yeah, I certainly am still going to do that. I have it. I just had to uninstall it because it was constantly popping up and saying, "Hey, I'm here and I'm Discording. Did you want to do this and do you want to do that?" And I hate that. I can't deal with that.
She said, "Okay, can try then."
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good. Well, guys, thanks a lot. We really, really had a great time, and I hope you all will come back next time. And for the first timers, Jimmy and all, thanks for coming by, and I hope you'll come by and visit us next time.
and